Alright, I'm back. Let's turn the music back on. Okay. Need to be 2100. Oh, and we have another thought. The 15th Indo tribe. That's interesting. And white morning. Let's see. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from the distance, from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object letting out its sweet smell, like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend. A bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. I don't think I'm into that thought. I also don't think I have the slots for it. Do I? Yeah, unlockable. Oh, so I can spend skill points to unlock more thoughts. There are so many. Man, do we want to... So, the thoughts, like, when you solve them, they give you, like, bonuses. Like, forever. So you spend a while, like, experiencing the thought, and then when you get through, like, this one we're in the middle, and there's an hour and 5 minutes remaining. And if we get to the end of the thought, then we get some bonus. So, like, Coach Physical Instrument has -1 encyclopedia, but +2 physical instrument if your shirt's last empty, right? So the question is, like, do I want to... I'm curious if each of these unlocks individually, though. Maybe that's why we've been getting so many skill points. Man, there are so many thoughts. I'm curious. Okay, alright. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to run a little poll for you guys, and you guys can figure out what's up. Which thought? So our choices are White Morning and the 15th Indo tribe. Neither. Let's see. Alright, here we go. We'll take a minute. We'll figure out whether or not we want to invest in that. In the meantime, let me give you what the two things are. So White Morning is the thing that we just read. Right now, the temporary research bonus would be -1 authority. Little guy gets further and further away. And the 15th Indo tribe. This takes 5 hours of research. This one takes 5 hours and 55 minutes. This one, Wild Pines, Feld, Capri, Tricentennial, Villiers, and LaSalle, names of the Revacholian Indo tribes springing into your head, set loose at the mention of Wild Pines. Royal monopolies, octopuses and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, Saint Baptiste, Brightest Star, LUM, Resplendent, Instalindic, Welder, and El Cassette. But isn't one missing? Wait, no, there were only 14. Then why do you feel like there was a 15th Indo tribe? Yeah, so those are the overviews. Those are the things. We have the one that was triggered by reading that card, probably about our ex-wife, and then we have the one that's about the Indo tribes of Revachol. Looks like the answer is White Morning, so we will unlock. Yeah, sure. And these are still unlockable. And so is this. Okay, alright. Well, White Morning it is. Internalize, it's in there. Well, I mean, you got caught sleeping there, 9-4. I don't know what to tell you. I thought the vote was yours. But we'll be sad for a little bit. That's okay. Let's see. Just a little bit longer until we can go. Let's see if Annette's still out. She is. Is there anything else in here that we want? Oh, there was that We're All stuff. That's true. Most checks have secret difficulty modifiers. Talking to the right person can reopen a closed white check. Good to know. Yeah, what's over here? Man from Hjelmdal series. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hjelmdal somewhere. Storekeep, tell me about the Muscle Man books. Oh, Man from Hjelmdal, a very popular series of adventure novels. She looks at the book with some disdain. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Why are they so popular? Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do. Sounds good. Which one should I start with? What does it matter? They're all the same. She rolls her eyes and fiddles with her pendant. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I would recommend Hjelmdalerman, the Man from Hjelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series. Oh, okay. We could buy it. Look through the display of books. Rows and rows of Hjomdallermen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hjomdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hjomdal. Return to Hjomdal. And the solipsistic Man from Hjomdal and the Hjomdal Man. Good God, how many are there? Maybe 100? Man from Hjomdal and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hjomdal and the false god. Man from Hjomdal and the scorched earth. Man from Hjomdal, the Hjomdal colonies. Man from Hjomdal and the swamp beast. Man from Hjomdal and the snow crabs. Half-Light, 10 out of 10, medium success. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Is that all? Not even close. Man from Hjomdal in hell. Man from Hjomdal in the forest of slaves. Man from Hjomdal under the lake. Man from Hjomdal, Hjomdal burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pasternal combat game book set. A pasternal combat game book set in the world of Hjomdallermen, and so much more. Pain threshold, medium. Do any of these books call out to me? Yeah, I have no idea where that guy's from. The Hjomdallerman. No idea. Yeah. Yeah, she does own a lot of these titles. Do any of the books call out to me? Check success. 14 out of 10. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eyes start twitching. Ow. Your hand reaches towards the book with a glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hjomdal, in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. Inland Empire, medium success, 13 out of 10. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hjomdallerman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hjomdal and the Devil Woman. Interesting. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjomdal novels. I'd like to buy one, but more than that, I would like to have cash. Also, it said that was the title, but then the cover of this book doesn't have that on the cover. I'm a little disappointed that the little mouse over here doesn't have that thing. We're going to leave. We're going to hang on to that money. We gonna hang that money. Gift books and molten candy. Let's see. Does Plaisance have anything to say? Maybe she could tell us about the games.
You broke down the back door. The ward's the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop.
Sometimes it's necessary to resort to extreme measures. I suppose. It's all over now? Her shoulders slump as if a heavy burden lies on them. I guess there's no escape. What are you talking about? It's just a door. Just a door? This place is cursed, detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well. She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Cursed? But I thought the curse wasn't real. Of course you did. You're nothing but a policeman. She shrugs, visibly dejected. New task. Investigate doomed commercial area. All right, you know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Her eyes narrow as she whispers the name. Of course, the entity. Close your eyes. I didn't see her, but I sensed her presence. You did, she gasped. Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney? You mean the chimney that's part of the central furnace? I heard voices coming from there. Yes, I've heard that it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume, she shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then maybe we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or make some noise. You'll think of something. You always do. Spirited core, 12 out of 10. Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery too. That's all I can say for now, book peddler. All right, we've got a new mystery. Investigate the doomed commercial area. Sold. I am in. All right, back to the furnace. We'll take the long way. Oh, there's stuff up here. I didn't realize. Ah, well, we can come back to it. There are more important things at hand. At something. Ah, yes, the barbell I can't lift. Well, we'll check. We'll see if I'm allowed to. Nope, not yet. Gotta get more physical instrument. God damn it. Doomed! That's right, you Gug. Oh yeah, gotta get the flashlight. Kim's gonna yell at me. Go, holding tab. Yeah, nothing over here, right? Yeah, nothing over here. Keep going. Blah, blah. Yeah, we already checked this back corner, I think, but we'll double check it again. Yeah, we need to find a password of some kind. I wonder if it's a person that, like, used to work for this game company that's now, like, hiding out and continuing to work, you know? That would be cool. Yeah, here we go. Physical instrument, medium, success. Yell hello into the furnace. Alright, we can take off our shirt and improve this. Excuse me, shirt. You're not allowed to be here anymore. Anything else? Physical instrument? I just want to, like, nail this one. It needs to be snake eyes for me to not get it. That's what I'm feeling. Doesn't look like anything else matters. And thank goodness for that. Yeah, 97%. Physical instrument, medium, 10. Yell hello into the furnace. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes through the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then you hear a woman's voice answer. Inland Empire, medium success, 12 out of 10. You've awakened the entity. This is the police. Who's there?
Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There is a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
Oh. You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside. The lieutenant nods, then points upstairs. After you, officer. There we go. All right. Who hears someone scream and then goes, oh yeah, I'll open this safety curtain. No problem. Yeah, that seems safe and reasonable. I'm a responsible individual. Nothing bad is ever going to happen here. Okay, where's the safety curtain? Where is it? Is it over here? Is there another floor up? Guys, what am I missing? Is it through here? Oh, I never saw this. There's more up here. Guys, you gotta help me when I'm blind. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Oh, take that. Thank you. This tray is full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. They are a game designer still working here. The candies dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. What items? Ah, yes. What does? Sure.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones. Hello, Ikotar.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Inland Empire. Could this be the malicious entity? 12 out of 10. Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. Hold on, what do you mean by milieus? Yeah. You're actually not the sole chat moderator, but you're the only one that's been in chat in years. So yes, you've been slacking.
Yes, a milieu is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Physical instrument, medium, success, 11 out of 10. As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really unusual.
Her accent is great, Yuga. Is commuting to the home front and helping prepare a meal. If 9-4 starts acting up, I can use a regular hammer, not just a band hammer. Fair enough, fair enough. Funny to think that you guys are sitting in the same room.
Take a look around and see if there is any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals. Suggestion, medium success, 14 out of 10. This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. How did you become a dice maker? How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field, with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Do you like role-playing games yourself? Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers. They're nice people. Empathy, medium, success, 12 or 10. She's thankful for the security they provide her. Okay, we'll look around and see what stones there are. What do you know about the man who was lynched by the whirlings and rags? Nothing, really. I didn't know him. Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window. The window looks directly under the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening? I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. What do you mean by the daily ruckus? Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. She stops to try and come up with an example. During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. It must be because of the strike. Empathy, medium success, 12 and 11. She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing someone on a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence. She looks up at the window. Pale light comes in. But I never saw anyone during the fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window? I might have, she admits, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make out anything in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. Do you often work on Sunday nights? It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home. I see. Thank you for your answers. Conclude. She nods. Anything else, officer? Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place? Look around the room. Task investigated. Investigate Dream's commercial area. We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there. But when I arrived here, all other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus. Inland Empire, medium success, 12 or 10. Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse. I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that the people call it the doomed commercial area? I've heard the stories, she nods as the wind howls in from the furnace shaft above, but I don't think those stories are true. Wait, how do you explain what happened to all those companies then? So it's just capitalism, she shrugs. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? She raises her brows. I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. All right, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling and Rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. Hold on, the Whirling is part of the Doomed commercial area? You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time under the East Delta Commercial Center project. No, the Whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off and the customers have trouble paying bills. And then there's me, she sighs, looking at the messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it? Half-Light, medium, success, 10 out of 10. It's because she's in cahoots with the demons. I'll be the first to admit that there are many inconsistencies in the so-called curse. I was just about to ask. She leans forward in her chair to study your face. What do you think? Do you think the curse is real? Half-Light, medium success. The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Inland Empire, medium success. Time has come to face the source. 12 out of 10. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest. What do we think, guys? Like, my thought is it's more interesting to answer that she's, that it might be her. But I don't think it is. I think that she's just a person selling dice. Well, let's accuse her anyways. I want to have fun. So I'm the grand dragon in the cave. She seems mildly entertained by the suggestion. Might I ask what supports this claim? I yelled to summon the ghost of the doomed commercial area, and you were the one who answered. Oh my, she says in mock despair. I've revealed myself. You better call the exorcists. I don't have to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself. That's what a superstar would say. Of course. She pinches the root of her nose. How convenient. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know. She turns back to her work. Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you'll make sense of the situation. Why hasn't her business failed? 42%, that's pretty good. Let's give it a shot. Oh, let's ask about the other business, though. Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone. More or less. She adjusted the yellow scarf that covers her hair. Are you interested in anyone specific? Shivers, medium success, 12 to 11. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure. I want to know about the... I found a strange machine. Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face. She liked them. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over a row. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. How do you mean liberal? What happened? The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. What went wrong? Well, I did hear them talking at times. She looks at the hallway, as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind the curtains on a cigarette break. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive. Yes, but when the money started to run out, they began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time. Electrochemistry, medium success, 12 or 10. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking. Too bad. I would have supported them. The project looks great. +5 experience gained. Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings. She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic desk. The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. Inland Empire. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes like snowfall. Anything else? Okay, let's just keep going down the list. There used to be a hair salon here, right? Yes, I think it was called the Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working-class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word. Physical instrument, medium success, 11 of 10. You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded. I guess it just wasn't time yet. She tucks a strand of hair under the headscarf. What happened to the gym? It wasn't merely a gym. It was Artemitep's Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youths away from drug and crime. Who is Artemitep? A kind man from Ziemsk. This bit is pretty funny considering the devs of the game. They had nearly a $0 budget, and some were practically homeless. Like, this could have been them if they didn't finish. Oh, man. Talk about twisting the knife in themselves. Jeez. Who was Artemitep? A kind man from Ziemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law and when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back. Maybe that's what Kuno needs. A community-centric boxing club. Kuno. Her eyes narrow in the dim light. Who's Kuno? He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies. Oh, you mean the kid at the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. She looks out of the window, her face reflecting back in the dark. I think that will take more than a gym to help that kid. Judging from the kids I met so far, it didn't really work, did it? It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinet even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines. Electrochemistry, medium success, 12 out of 10. You should have known it! Eventually, the coalition took away the funding, and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since then. What's with the broken windows? Oh, this one's a mess, she sighs. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieus. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Cool about the debris, but what's a snuff milieu? It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it. Electrochemistry, medium success, 12/10. What does she mean, to get off on it? Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Rosas. The lieutenant turns to you. This isn't our problem. Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. She lets the thought go. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around. You mean Mr. Febron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. But what drugs exactly? Let it pass. Anything else? I found creepy mannequins. There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activist came. I didn't know insects had any rights or activists. Ah, thank you, Egotar. Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin suppliers, which of course caused prices to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. I'm glad someone took care of the little guys. I like insects. But insects don't have any brains or feelings. Actually, insects do have brains, she corrects. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far. She shifts around. You notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving. Anything else? What's with the rotor blades and skis? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. She rests her chin in her hand with an impish smile. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tio Mutiri or Kasht Kor or wherever he is. Interesting. What do these transmissions say? The usual, I imagine, that he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them, just as soon as he returns. Her smile widens before she sees the lieutenant's face behind you. Men like that are a curse. The lieutenant is stern. Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess. Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long. There's a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar. Oh boy, the fabled Revachol Ice City. You're in for a treat here. She smiles and leans in closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now, ask me about their other ideas. Alright, what are their other ideas? There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. She leans back, disapproving. Suggestion, medium success. Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. What do they expect? 20 cents an hour is dog spam. Surprised they showed up to work at all. Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. They were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear. She closed her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear? The bear, she repeats, pressing thumbs into her temple, like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out? Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Revachol Ice City lost a price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece out of regular fridges. I'm sure the bear was doing its best. Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean. How come? He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion. Scary but cool. Megatherion? Megatherion, nods the dice maker. A mega wild beast. Megatherion would be such a cool name for a tiny dog. Like, if I get a dog, I want it to be relatively small, and it'll be a little lap dog, and he just wants love, and he just wants attention, and we'll name him Decimus. And so we'll talk to him like that. That'll be how you address the dog. Just Decimus. Ugh. That thought always pleases me. I always really like that. Oh, man. Megatherion would be another great name for a teeny tiny dog. Very cool, but I don't want to hear... what's a mega wild beast? It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. A wise and noble beast, guiding you towards a land where streets are paved with drugs. A horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited, but it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around. I don't... Yeah. Not now, you beast! What? Nothing. Coffin let go of it. Right, says the dice maker. She doesn't look entirely convinced. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. She seems almost sad finishing the story. The temperature has dropped in the cover of the night. You see frost on the windows. Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time. I found the building's intercom, but it's not working. Oh, right. She rubs her forehead. Her scarf has left a faint line on her dusty skin. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion. So you're telling me you have a doorbell there? Which one? The one with an empty name card. It's the last one on the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. A few more questions about the building. Sure, I'm listening. Actually, I have more questions about the intercom. No, nothing. Actually, I had other questions. Let's try shivers. This is we can roll an 8 here. You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm. Start taking off your clothes. You need to connect. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. All right. I'd like to order a die from you. Of course, she nods. This is what she's here for. Tell me what you have in mind. We're all in tethered setting. Cursed die. Your most extraordinary die. Don't know what I want. Just a normal die. Very regular. What kind of die do you think fits my personality? What kind of die does she think fits personality? I think I have just the right one for you. She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. 2 polyhedrons, red and blue, are cradled in her palm. I didn't call the numbers on the intercom. Police colors. Because I'm a police officer, right? Not the most original, I know. She smiles, almost apologizing. But sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch, she tosses the dice. They're a gift from me to you. Catch the dice! We're gonna catch something eventually, guys. Oh! Item gained, icosahedral dice set. Sirens. Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie. Wink at the dice maker. What are the odds? The dice maker winks back at you. The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer. She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves. You'll definitely need luck in Martinet. She closes her desk drawer. Was there anything else? Alright, let's leave. Let's see. We have a bunch of stuff going on now. Thought completed. Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new. Like some half-forgotten day in your childhood, only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is the fundamental question. +1 experience for every orb clicked. All intellect learning caps raised by 1. Wow, every time I click on an orb because I have a thought. That is dope. I get an experience. I'm into it. I'm all about it. What else do we have? Dice. These two 20-sided die have the colors of police alarm. Bloodstone for red and lapis lazuli for blue. If you roll them and squint your eyes, it looks like you're arriving on the scene. And it's raining. Note, look at the map tab in your journal to see which white checks have been reopened. Okay, let's see what's reopened now. I don't know what this would reopen. Apparently this? The cafeteria window? What? Why would this open checks? What did this open? Let's see. Sleeping dock worker. That's been open for a bit. Huh. Okay, cool. Well, anyways, good talking to this lady. I appreciated that. What else is going on around here? This beer's empty. We've got to go downstairs and talk to Plaisance now, right? Man, the shading in this game makes it really difficult to see when you can't find stuff, you know? Through here. Back downstairs. The store on the other side is closed for the night. Come back tomorrow? I can't go through? Okay, I guess I'm coming back tomorrow. We'll talk to Plaisance on Wednesday. I guess that means we gotta find the back way out. Man, this game is so rich and detailed. Yeah, dude, I sent that to you. Smurfing is now bannable in Dota. I'm super pleased. It's because they're expecting a bunch of new players. Also, Sir Action Slacks in the community made a tutorial, which I'm like split on. I saw a video where somebody was explaining that like that has the negative of like taking the pressure off Valve to actually like maintain their own game. Though now that Valve has come out with a bunch of resources to make getting into the game easier for people, I'm less upset about it. But yeah, no, I'm pleased about that. I'm looking forward to it. Man, I have Lament of Orpheus from the game Hades stuck in my head. If you guys want, I can do a run at the end of the night. Man, the piano music in here is so like murder mystery.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight. It's Tuesday. Yeah, dude, smurfing is super lame. I like understand why people want to do it, but like it just like it makes the problem harder. Like the reason they want to do it is because they're getting smurfed against. Electrochemistry, medium success, 12 out of 10, and his shirt is still unbuttoned. Yes, the cleaning lady does it. He replies, smiling. As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
I'm not going to make things just right. I'm going to make them spectacular.
Beautiful.
He says again. A nearby street lamp casts a shadow on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you, and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Very well, I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I have so many questions. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me. He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Besides, I've got to run. Inland Empire, medium success. He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad. Run where? To the city. He gestures idly towards the distance. It's a beautiful night. Shivers, medium success, 12 out of 10. A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body. Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important. Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words. We'll talk, the smoker assures you, brushing his hand through his hair. Just not tonight. Task complete. Smoker on the balcony. Gained evidence. Plus 70. New task. Interview the Sunday friend. Take care, all right, he says with another disarming smile before slipping off into the night. There's something so different about him. I just can't put my finger on. Different, of course. There's just something so mysterious about the way he talks and moves. Something so mysterious about the way he talks. The lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter. Very mysterious. Very. Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, do you remember? He nods at the apartment door before you. Autosave? And what did this do? Interview the Sunday friend. Alright, let's go. We're making progress. We got a lot of experience for that. Need to pass time? Buy a book. Reading passes time quickly. That's good to know. Although I feel like accidentally talking to people a bunch has helped. Let's check our experience real quick. So our current experience is 96. If I click this. A quarterly business magazine. 97. It really is every circle. Oh, this guy. An old photo of the same apartment, dated year 01. Party Dragon's silk robe. +1 drama, +1 electrochemistry. Don't mind if I do. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspaper. An exquisite canopy bed made of metal. New skill point. Samarin conical hat. +1 logic, -1 suggestion. Dishes soaked up in a pot. An empty ashtray. Flyers for underground parties. Alright, let's talk to this guy.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man in the business casual removes his cufflinks.
My name is Charles Villedron. I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Sir Leclerc. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I'm here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Suggestion, medium success. 14 out of 10. No, first ask an innocuous personal question and get the interview off on the right foot. Half-light, medium success, 10 out of 10. Yeah, let's fuck with him. What does he think he is, assisting you? Before we get to that, will you tell me where we got this beautiful silk robe from?
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps in the balcony. What was that? You were supposed to fuck with him, not compliment the decor. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed. You actually witnessed the lynching? I'm sorry to say I did, officer. The man gives a solemn nod. Turn to the lieutenant. This is just the rake we've been looking for. Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions. He eyes the spectacled man near the door, who smiles and spreads his hands. Start from the beginning, if you don't mind. Officer, it's difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play. The lieutenant is already scribbling down notes. What do you mean, like in a play? It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body, and then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead one by one. That's when I understood I should not be seeing this. Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting. Who were they? Can you describe them? I couldn't see their faces well, but there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. He pauses, looking for the right wording. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. How many of them were there? I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10, maybe 8. The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number. Were any of them huge, like 200 kilograms? That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human as far as I could tell. Do any of them look like drummers? Drummers? No. But then I don't know what a drummer is supposed to look like. I think we can drop the drummer angle, the lieutenant says impatiently. That was my bad. What happened next? I went back inside. Half-light, medium success, 10 out of 10. Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing. Were you able to see anything from inside? Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear the voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. Were they men? Women? All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. But we're fairly certain the lady driver was present. The lieutenant flipped through his notes. Are you sure at least one of them wasn't a woman? It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember. What ethnicity were they? I believe they were mostly white, although I believe I saw 2 Aeropagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. What happened next? Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. Why didn't you call the RCM? The man wipes his glasses. Of course, you're right. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add. About what time was all this happening, approximately? All I can say is that it was late. So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you? No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. It seems this wasn't the break that you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need, the lieutenant says, closing his notebook. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villadrun. Task completed. Interview the Sunday friend. Getting experience plus 10. Of course. Anything I can do to assist the RCM. What's an official like you doing in Martinez? The coalition is looking out for the price stability. He raises an index finger. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease, blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment? Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. He smiles. You can say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. So you're some kind of bureaucrat? Yes. As I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur le Clef, working for the Institute of Price Stability. He glances at his watch. This is one of the main projects of the moral intern. What is this international community? La Communauté Internationale is what Revachelians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of a revolution. And what do I call the coalition? Your employer, technically speaking, the governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration. But what is the price stability? It is the most important thing. That clears up everything. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability. Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change. Precisamente. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much inflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. Below 2% of what? But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad, but below, but close to 2%. I smell moralism. Oh, Marbles is back. You've switched. You're not answering my questions at all. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet? Okay, sure, give me a leaflet. A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'etre. I never know how to pronounce raison d'etre of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. He is a moralist. You got it. He pats on his pockets. But I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency. Tell me about Sur le Clef. Oh, I clicked enough business. Enough business. Let's talk about something else. Can you tell me about your friend? My friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. What's Kedra? Raison d'etre. Okay, fair. That's not. I wasn't too far off. That's good to know. Raison d'etre. Yeah, sure. What's Kedra? Kedra is a candidate member of EPIS, but between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. What do you mean? That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21 and it's been pending ever since. That doesn't tell me anything about Kendra itself. Is it warm there? Cold? Something in between? It's warm, he nods, but it's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Oh, yes, great. I haven't taken linguistics class since college, so I don't remember how to read pronunciation things. They're very helpful, though. That and all the fricatives and whatever, where it tells you where in your mouth the sound comes from. That makes it actually really easy to explain the differences between sounds between different languages. How did you two even become friends? How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindia and Isola. Oil platforms ablaze in the night. Civil wars lasting for years. Finally, the international community is forced to step in. What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way. Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend, too. You still haven't told me who he is. Sorry, who? The man throws a quick glance at his watch. Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him. But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man, here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Fine, but what's his real name? Officer, you have to understand, I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation. So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of fine arts, yes. Which arts? He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. What are you doing in his apartment by yourself? I'm just enjoying the view, the man smiles, nodding to the window. What view? It's dark outside. Listen, he says, raising his hand. What? I'm not hearing anything. The Insulindian Bay. What about it? This place used to be a luxury accommodation before Revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away. He knocks on the balcony door, his face mirrored in the darkened glass. I was asking about your friend. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee. I had something else in mind. That's all. Thanks, I've got all I need. A moment, officer. Do you have anything you need? Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. Hold on, why can't we talk later? It's against diplomatic practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. He pauses. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well. I'm not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around this apartment. Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. He glances at his watch. Let me know if you have any further questions. I did take a class on linguistics 9-4. It was good. I'm trying to remember. It was just like an intro to linguistics class. But it really like made me understand why computational linguistics is so useful. Like linguistics is so much so the like pattern recognition across grammars and understanding pronunciations and stuff. It's very interesting. Would recommend. Actually, now that we're finished this interview, I'm going to take another quick break. I'll see you guys in another couple of minutes, yeah?